This is from Yardbarker, projecting the most explosive offenses in 2023 from first to worst. 1, they have the Chiefs. 2, they have the Bills. 3, they have the Eagles. They have the Browns at 15. Browns are a major wild card dependent on Deshaun Watson's ability to rebound. Team has given Watson a couple more receiving options, including Elijah Moore. So there are no excuses for a lack of improvement. I get what they're saying. 15 is kind of low. Middle of the pack is kind of low. Best offensive line, probably the best running back, certainly in the top 2 or 3. I think they're a little higher than that.
With you 100%. I mean, I think the potential is there to be a top 5. We're talking explosiveness, simply the ability to create chunk plays. They should be a top 5 team, in that conversation or viewed that way, where even, we just mentioned a million different names, but even a David Njoku is a guy that at tight end can break off a big gainer, unlike most players at that position. You mentioned Nick Chubb, where he's due for a couple 60, 80-yard rushes here and there. Yeah, if we're ignoring or just simply focusing on not sustaining drives, not red zone efficiency, yada, yada, just the ability to create chunk plays, they should be at the very, very top of the list by the end of the year.
Do you think that – I don't think we've seen much of what this offense will look like in the preseason. I think by design they're like, all right, let's do this and see what we get here. I think this offense will look – I don't want to say drastically. I think there will be a noticeable difference once they take the field against the Bengals.
I agree. I think, a lot of teams obviously keep their cards close to the vest and don't show much during the preseason, but it's been very generic and kind of milquetoast from my perspective in Cleveland in particular. And I think it really is trying to see the skill sets of certain players. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is not quite like a Deshaun Watson. He throws very, very hard, doesn't really have a lot of touch, and then he obviously wants to take off a good bit. All things I think will continue to improve, and I am high on him developing into at least a good backup quarterback. But stylistically right now, not a very similar player. There's no Amari Cooper equivalent or anything like that on this team. I think we just kind of saw, hey, run through the motions, see these guys as athletes, stay healthy, all those things. I think week 1 against Cincinnati, especially against a good defense like theirs, with Lou Anarumo at the helm, a defensive coordinator, they were saving a whole lot of tricks in the bag for that game.
Didn't see as much. Do you expect – I expect some run-pass options, some RPOs. I didn't really see that, and I think Watson's pretty good at it.
I could not agree with you more. Yeah, I think you will see more of that, and I do think, just the threat of a Chubb handoff and then just an Amari Cooper quick slant with Deshaun Watson and his ability to flick the wrist and get the ball out quickly, and that's dynamic. That's a hard thing to defend, even thinking about it. And yeah, now that you mentioned, I really don't know if I saw a lot of that. We know we're going to see a bunch of play action from Kevin Stefanski. I don't really remember seeing a whole lot of pre-snap motion, but I bet we see a whole lot of that with guys like Elijah Moore, Marquise Goodwin, etc. I think all those wrinkles and the misdirection is going to get cranked up to 11 starting in week 1.